Hello everyone, welcome to another episode. It's now 3 weeks until we set off on our Cape York trip, and today I'm on a solo shakedown trip just to test out the Prado. So the car's packed as if I'm actually off today. I just want to test out where everything is, make sure everything works before we set off in a few weeks time. It's pretty miserable weather at the moment. If it does ease off, I'll pull over and I'll show you around. Finally, we got a break in the rain, so let's take a look. Right, so starting with the outside, you can see we've got the rooftop on now finally. So the rooftop's up on the top now. Got rid of the tray just to save some weight, so I just made up these roof bars, these 3 roof bars just from Bunnings. So it's just 30mm square steel tubing, just painted it black. Just some M8, I think they are, M8 bolts, just holding it onto the Rhino rack at the 3 sort of mounting points. We've got the solar now working well on the top. So I've really tried to keep the weight to an absolute minimum on the roof. So we've got the rooftop tent, we've got the solar panel, that weighs quite a bit. And then I've restricted it to only 2 max tracks for this trip. And the reason being is the other guys, between us, we've got quite a few max tracks, so I didn't see the point in taking all 4, just trying to keep that weight down. So obviously we've got the shovel on this side, looks a bit terrible that high up, but it's the only place really I could mount it. The only thing I have forgotten actually this trip is in there, in that Rhino rack clip, that's where I'm going to keep the fishing rods. I actually forgot to put those on. So the idea this weekend was just to trial it out as it would be on the actual trip. So what else? That's pretty much it for the outside. I've got the crash pad bag on the back. Anything else? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, so that's the outside. Not much difference really. I have tried to put this yellow cover on the back of the steady camping light. So the idea was to try and reduce the bugs. It's definitely better than a normal one, but it's not as good as one of those orange ones. I have tried it before, and it was a bit better for the bugs. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the outside. So I'll show you inside what it looks like. So this trip, obviously I'm on my own. The butler would be here normally, starting my driver's side. Not much to show really. So the butler would sit there. I have actually got some firewood for this weekend, but the idea is to go as lightweight as possible. So that's the back, so it's not too bad actually for a trip like the Cape. I've got all the spare parts and stuff down there. Going round to the back, just look in the boot, the tailgate, that's all set up now. So again, not really too packed. Got the battery, which I've shown before, all the food, the kitchen, the fridge. So that's pretty much it. So it's the idea being, like I said, I want to go as lightweight as absolute possible. So we haven't got many clothes. I mean, my clothes bag, just let me show you back in. That's all I'm taking, just one bag of clothes for 5 weeks. So I'm going to have to do some washing. Just coming around the other side again, just to show the same thing. So air compressor, we've got all the tools and things down that end. Recovery gear is actually in the back. I didn't show that very well, but the recovery gear is just in the back there. That's all the recovery gear. So as I've said, it is a lightweight setup. And let's take a look at the actual gear. So as you can see, there is a heap of gear. I still consider this a lightweight trip. It looks like heaps when it's all laid out. So this is the recovery gear that I'm taking. A couple of handheld radios. We've got 1 snatch strap and a winch extension cable. Gloves and a tyre deflator. So a water bra that attaches to the front of the car for deep water crossing. So that just helps protect the fan, so water driving into the fan and also debris in the water getting caught up in the radiator. We've got some soft shackles and some normal D-shackles. A snatch block. Tree trunk protector and bridle just to distribute the load on the front if we're pulling from the front of the vehicle. Air compressor for obvious reasons. A dampener for recoveries and a tyre repair kit. heavy duty ratchet straps and a block that we might need to jack the car up from on the ground to spread the load, a shovel and the 2 max tracks. So that's my basic toolkit, so I'm not going to bother going through that, just basic tools that you need. A socket set, another toolkit here. This bag's got lots of straps in it, so ratchet straps, just normal straps that we might need. A fuel filter that what I can use, I can attach that to the side of the car and just fill up, just help with any dirty fuel. I've got a spare serpentine belt. I've got an alternator because they're pretty low in the Prados and with all the creek crossings. Thought I might take a spare alternator. I've got an air filter. I've got wheel bearings. So the front wheel bearings on the Prados are interchangeable. The rear ones are left and right. So I've just made a punt and I've only got 1 rear one. So at the moment, if I had a wheel bearing problem, I would be able to repair 3 out of the 4. And I've also got a starter motor. I've recently replaced all the sort of radiator hoses and all the rubber hoses, so I've also got a bag of all the old hoses. I've got fuses, a couple of the uni filters that go on the snorkel. What else have I got? I've got a scan tool so that we can plug into the OBD port and just a normal voltmeter. So I'm not going to go over everything that we've got, but I'll just go over the main things. Fridge, solar shower, got a collapsible fire pit. This is my kitchen area in the front runner box, so just all the kitchen gear goes in there. That's the water tank that I showed in the other video. Gas cylinders and cooking gear, cutlery, knives and forks. Just a smaller water container, 5 litre water container. Got the food bag, so taking 3 food bags. That's a collapsible bucket and washing powder to do our clothes washing. Low alpine bag here, that's got all the camera gear in and the drone. This is just sort of the living gear, got sleeping bags, pillows, gazebo because I can't fit an awning on the Prado at the moment. Mine and the butler's clothes bag, so as I said before, pretty small. I've got 2 rain jackets, one for me and one for the butler, so sort of easily accessible. Sun hats, normal hats, and I've actually got a beanie as well because I'm going before the butler. He's going to fly up to Cairns and meet me, but the first part of my trip I'm still in New South Wales where it's going to be quite cold. And then finally, the most important aspect, the fishing gear. Try and snag ourselves a barramundi. Why not? So I've already picked up one issue already. So the idea of the gazebo at the back was I could open up the door and be undercover in the back, but it doesn't work as well as that, as I thought it might. So the issue is we get a drip down there like that, which is just going to run like that in the back. So that's a bit unfortunate, but that's okay. So what I might do, I'll be fine sort of when we're using it as a sun, when we want to keep out the sun, but with the wet weather, what I'll probably do next time then is just set it up along the side there instead. So the back will never really be undercover, I suppose. I don't want all that water dripping in on the battery because I've got my second battery at the back, so that's not going to be ideal, not with the solar charger. So that's right, that's why we do these shakedown trips. So just another consideration with the rooftop, which I've just learned, I'm not used to rooftops yet, is where you position the ladder. So anything in that door there is going to be difficult to get to because the ladder's in the way, so I've just had to reach over. So that's okay, next time I'll just pack the stuff that hopefully I won't need sort of in a hurry this side, and then all the other things I do need I'll just put in this side, so it's just easier to get to. So how did it go? So setup works really well. I'm really happy with the rooftop. As you can see, it's really quick to put up. Will take a bit longer when I've got to put the gazebo up. That won't go up every day, that's just when it's needed, but without the gazebo it'd be a very quick setup, which would be great. Then there's the obvious problems that we saw last night with the rain, but that's an easy enough one to fix, as is access to that driver's side rear seat. So when the ladder's up, so just making sure that there's nothing that I need to get to. Other than that, it worked really well. The battery's working good. It's a good charging station for the GoPro, so that works well as well. But all in all, yeah, I'm pretty happy. Not too much room in the back, but it was pretty well organised. Everything I could get to easily, which is what you want when you're on those trips where you're moving a lot every day. But all in all, no, I have to say I'm pretty happy with it. It's working really well. So hopefully you got something out of the episode and the realisation that you don't need a really fancy setup to do these trips. This is a pretty basic setup. Works well for me. The thing I really like is that K on the shelf, because it just keeps the bedding out the way. That works really well. But yeah, I like it so far. So pretty much brings us to the end of the episode. So hopefully you got something out of this. If you didn't, that's okay as well. Any views we appreciate. So the next time you see this setup, we'll be on our way up to the Cape. Thanks so much for watching, and we really appreciate anybody that takes the time to watch our videos. Anyway, it's time for me to get this stuff packed down and hit the road, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks so much for watching.